Hello you, morning. So we have Huy Anh, Nguyễn Huy Anh, Trần Huy, Linh, Ngô Hiếu, Minh Duy, Hải. Oh, Tây is not here. Quân is not here. Bình is not here. So we're missing 3 people. Okay, and An 4. Okay. And Tây, Quân, Hiếu. Oh, this Hiếu, right? Ngô Hiếu. Bình. Bảo is here. Maybe he just turned on the Zoom and then go to sleep, maybe. Okay, let's start the class. I'm going to record. Oh, it's recording. So I'm going to share my screen. Right, there we go. Right, guys, let's take a couple of minutes to review the authentication flow that we already learned last week, right? So take a look at this flow. Can you explain everything again, anyone? So this is a flow that we did last week using Passport, right? Actually, this flow is for server-side rendering. It's not like really appropriate for single-page app, for example, React. But actually, it works the same. Instead we do everything on the backend side here. Today, we're gonna split it in half. The first half will be done by React on the front end, and the second half will be done by our backend side. Okay. So first, let's review this flow here. So basically, this is how OAuth works. Right. Can you explain the first line, the first arrow?
So first, we have a guy visiting our app.
Yes.
And then he go into our login page.
Yes.
And he sent some data to our server.
He clicked on the link, for example, button, right, to log in with Facebook. Actually, that when he clicked it, we redirect the user to the backend URL, which is r/login/Facebook, for example. That's the first time we redirect user.
So wait, are we here at our server or Facebook server?
Right now, backend server, as you can see here, backend server. Okay. First, one time redirecting. Okay, what do we do here after that? The arrow here.
Send our data from backend server to Facebook.
Using send is not correct, but actually we redirect again. We redirect the user to Facebook application, Facebook website, to be correct. And then what after that? What does it do? Like here. So what happened on the Facebook website?
If the username, password, email correct, and the Facebook will log in.
Yes. Meaning we the user accept our application to access the data, right? So what happened next?
Like backend code, and the Facebook will send us a token.
By redirecting again. So we have one time redirect, 2 times, 3 times. Right now we have 3 times redirecting, right? So it means that we let Facebook handle everything for the authentication. Okay, this time, the third time Facebook redirect back to our backend server, it actually redirect with an access token. Okay, yes. And then
the first time we redirect to backend go to Facebook. If Facebook okay,
redirect again.
Facebook redirect to backend with the token.
Yes, correct. So next, what happened here? All right. So backend send a GET request to Facebook, server together with the token to get the user information.
Our username.
Yes, correct. Right. That's not a redirecting here, right? Okay, and Facebook will respond with a user object or a user data, right? And backend server will decide whether or not to create a new user or log in the current user. Okay, and then there's a 4-time redirecting here, back to the front end. So in total, we have 4 redirecting: 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Oh, this not. It's just a GET request. It's not a redirecting. Redirect. What does mean by redirecting? Meaning we changing the URL here, right? We change the URL on the browser, right? So we have in total 4 redirects. But that's how it works for a traditional server-side rendering app, right? For example, handlebars stuff. But to implement the OAuth authentication to a single-page app, which is React, for example, today, we are gonna let React handle the first part. So for example, when you go to React app, you click login with Facebook, right? It actually will not, it does redirect you, but you don't see it. It's got a pop-up will, there will be a pop-up, and then it will ask you to click on login with Facebook or continue as Facebook with Facebook, for example. And then you accept that, it will close, the pop-up will be closed. You will be back to your original page, okay? Which means actually there's a redirect here, but you don't see it. So, and then when you actually log in with that, your React app will receive the asset token, right? So that means you're here. So we will let React handle this first part first. And actually we learned that already. We already did that. Can anyone remember when? And which topic was that? Which lab was that? Yes, tic-tac-toe. Okay, so let's go back to tic-tac-toe here. Week 5. Sorry, I don't know why my learning portal only shows week 4. Yeah, you all see until week 12, but I only see week 4, but I can accept all that. So week 5, go to Wednesday, the second part of tic-tac-toe. Okay, so we actually learn how to log in with Facebook on the front end here, right? So the response here will be the user object that Facebook respond to us. There will be an access token inside respond as well. So right, so that's done. Where are we? So now our backend will handle the rest. Backend will receive the token from React, right? And then it will do the same thing here. Send a request to Facebook, get the user information, and so here instead of redirecting, the last step, instead of redirecting, it will return a JSON object together with a token that we create in our database. So there will be no more redirecting. It will improve the user experience. For example, if I open, Airbnb, sorry, airbnb.com. Right, when I log in here, there's a model, a pop-up, right? And when you click on continue with Facebook, there's another pop-up. This is a pop-up. That was the model. This one is a pop-up. When you click on continue as yourself, okay. Wow, what? Where did I have it? Okay, whatever. Okay, when you log in, it will bring you back to the original page, right? And in here, you actually log in. I don't know why I'm not here, but there's a couple of bugs in every website. Don't worry. even Tiki, they have a bunch of errors, I can tell. Tiki.vn, yes. There are a bunch of errors in their subbing task. So here, so as soon as we are logging here, can you guess what happened behind the scene? When you click continue as yourself, Facebook, actually behind the scene, the front end will send a GET request to backend side. So it's going to be this step. Sorry. Instead of redirecting front end, we'll send an access token to the backend. And then everything on the backend side, we will deal with it later. Don't worry, we will do it later. So this flow right now is not applicable to our app right now. So here's a new flow. This one. It's very bad, but it's very neat. So here, the client, I'm going to open the client. It will say authenticate with Facebook, right? Facebook will return an asset token. You can call it social token. Depends on which website. It's asset token, and then client will send a token to the server, our server, right? Our server will then verify the token with Facebook. If the token is correct, Facebook will return the user profile, right? And then the server will receive the profile. Then it will decide to create a new user or log in the existing user. Then finally, it returns the token together with the user data to the front end. That's it. On the front end side, now we have a couple of things to do. We have to store the token in our storage, remember? At the same time, we have to set state the user as well. So yeah, so that's the whole point. So we will have to 1 step, 2 step, 3 step, and the 4th step here. So there will be 4 steps we will have to do today. It's all written down in the note here. I don't know where to see. Okay, here we go. Milestone 1, milestone 2, milestone 3, milestone 4. In every single milestone, you have to do a couple of things. For example, milestone 1, you have to do with the front end. So you have to create a couple of browsers and a model to be able to click on continue with Facebook, for example. And then you have to use a library called React Facebook login. You will use it in week 5. So this library will help you to create a pop-up window to continue with Facebook. Milestone 2, sending the token to the backend. So backend will do a couple of things here. Here you have to define the endpoint first. We did that already last week. Okay. Today we will do it again. We do it, but in a similar way. We don't use password anymore. No more password. We will do everything manually. Okay, so backend will receive the token and it will send the request to this endpoint. And here we will say, okay, give me the ID, give me the name and the email of the user. And here's my asset token. Here's the user asset token, sorry, not my user. And with the asset token, give me the user ID, the username, and the user email. And when we have these 3 things, maybe we only focus on name and email. Using name and email, we will use a method find one or create, right? Remember? We still use that method to create a user. And then finally, we generate a token and send those 2 data to the front end. Okay. So front end, milestone 3, front end will receive the user and the token. So it will have to set state and store the token to the storage, for example, local storage. We also review how to create a protected route to protect a couple of pages, a couple of views that require user login, right? So we will do everything today. And then milestone 4, we have to make it persistent. For example, if the user reload the page, they still be able, they should still be logged in, right? They don't have to re-log in again, re-log in. So we will create another API and then we use a token in our local storage to make it persistent. Okay, to make the login stay persistent. So here's the couple of things, 4 things that we have to do today.
I want to ask
yes.
your question. So will we learn about logging in without Facebook or Google, like login?
Okay, it's very similar. It's actually easier to do that comparing to using OAuth, right? Instead of sending a token, an asset token, you can send an email and password to backend, and then to the endpoint. I would say, I remember we have this endpoint, right? Auth / login, right? So this endpoint will receive what? No, email and password. It's a post request. It's not login. Sorry. Yeah, it's login. So we need email and password to login, right? Okay. So we send to this endpoint, and this endpoint will return response, a user object and a token. Very similar.
What if we want to verify the root email and stuff?
You already have that in your backend code. Remember, login with email method belongs to the user object, user class, user model. I say. Don't worry, I will use the old code, and you will see a couple of things. Right. So actually, login with using OAuth is harder comparing to login with email, because we have to deal with Facebook. We have to deal with a third party. Yeah, let's learn the hard way. Let's learn the harder stuff, and then we figure out. I will let you guys to explore how to log in with email on your own. It's a lot simpler there comparing to the auth here. Right. So, do you have any question about the milestones here? So in the morning, I will try to finish milestone 1, 2, and 3. There. Cool. We already learned all the code, how to code. We already learned everything. Yeah, it's still Airbnb. Yes. You can use your front end, your existing front end, and the back end. All right. Let's see if I have any question before jump in.
Wow, we're jumping into a lab early today.
Yeah, the theory is we already learned the theory. Yes, but we changed a little bit only. So this way is the traditional way. We learn how to deal with a single page app. So by changing the first part here to let the React to handle this. And I will try to stick the code snippet in the note here. All right. Okay, let's do it quickly, and then you have time to try coding in the afternoon. And if you have questions, you can ask before you go home. All right, let's start. So I'm gonna create a new React app because I didn't do anything. Right, I'm gonna create a new one.
Use the Airbnb that we have built.
Yeah, you can use your front-end application from Airbnb. npm init React app. I'm gonna call where am I? What is this? Okay. npm init React app. Airbnb React. Okay. Right now, you should open your two windows. All right. Login table on backend and front end table. Okay. Bảo ơi, we will do both, but the one that on Learning Portal was original written for server-side rendering. Yes, yeah, but you will see a bunch of redirecting on where?
You should open up a separate window, then you build the entire reverse authentication. Then in the when the book return after URL server already received the token and the URL. Lion should detect the change in the URL and read the information of the token.
Yeah, that. Yes, that's what I originally planned. But instead, Facebook actually this thing is a recommend way for Facebook. Yeah. Yeah, you can see it that way, but Charles said to me, "No, don't see them that way. See them this way because it's more appropriate for Facebook. Facebook actually recommend this way. Yeah, that's how it works. Actually, that's how I taught the last class, and it still works. It's worked perfectly, but you see a bunch of redirecting, and maybe two. So this way you don't have any redirecting, and for user experience, it's very good because you will see no change in the URL at all. Everything will be done by sending GET request, POST request to the server. Yes. Okay. So let's try it. It's actually easier to understand compared to the other way. Yeah. So let's try it. Okay, I created my React app. What did I call it? Oh, Airbnb React. React. Okay, so I'm gonna npm install React router DOM and Bootstrap as well, because I'm gonna show you how React Bootstrap. I'm gonna show you how to do the protected route. So let's install React Bootstrap.
Are we working on this front end first?
Yes, Milestone 1, front end. So we're gonna use a model, we're gonna use routes. So let's install Bootstrap, React Bootstrap, and what is it? Is it React Bootstrap? Yes. Okay, and what's the last one? I just installed, I forgot. React Router, yes. Oh my God, NVM is so slow. If you want to install dependencies faster, you can use Yarn. It will try to install everything like at the same time instead of querying one by one. Or whatever. So I'm gonna open my code editor. Yeah, while waiting for it.
What are we doing?
Open your code editor.
Can I ask, so what we will learn tomorrow and the day after tomorrow?
Tomorrow is Thursday, right?
Yeah.
WebSocket maybe, yeah. NVM install, what else? Yarn, add. What was the dependency that I tried to install? I install React Bootstrap, I install React Router. Oh, I forgot to do this. Okay. So here's the very basic app, right? So I'm gonna use React Router, React Router DOM, import router from React Router DOM. So here's the command. If you want your app to work offline as well and actually a little bit faster, you can use it. And Service Worker also help you to build a kind of like progressive web app. It's like it makes your app responsive to mobile. You don't have to customize everything. It's faster. Okay, so I'm gonna wrap my app with browser router. You usually call this, you usually do it as router, but I refer to use original name. Okay.
This is so front end.
Everything is on front end. My son wants, it's all about front end. Okay, so I wrap my app with the router. So now inside app.js, I can use switch, right? So I'm gonna remove these. Remove the class name as well. Remove logo.
Should I start a new project or continue?
I think you can continue with your one, and if you already have a couple of stuff, you don't have to reinstall it again. So switch route.
Router.
Sorry, route from where? Router is browser router. I did it in index already. Oh, tomorrow on Saturday I will have an extra session about Redux and Redux Tongue to help you. It's a tool to manage states. Redux and Redux Tongue. If you're interested in, you can join. It's gonna help your final project. Okay. So I will try to record. Right.
Saturday, same.
Oh, is it Saturday or Friday? If we have time, we can do it on Friday. Yeah, I refer Friday. All right, so I use switch and route. I'm gonna use it here. Switch. So route. So let's go with the first route. Route path. The root route component will be home. I'm gonna call it home. And okay, so this one is gonna be login. One more, and this one gonna be for example me. Me is mean my profile, right? Very simple. I'm gonna call it me, and I'm gonna call it profile component. So we have three components here. We have to import it. Login profile from. I'm gonna import it from views, for example, because these are the views, the page, right? So it's not really component, it's views. So I'm gonna import from views, and here I will create a folder. I'm gonna call that folder views. It should be inside source.
So create views inside of source.
Yes, and here we have index.js. Right, index.js. We also have a couple of other files, for example, home.js, login.js. What else? What do you call it? Profile.js. Okay.
What's the difference between views and components?
Okay, good questions. Can you guess? What's the difference between so a view and a component, a normal component? They are all components, but they are a little bit different. A component can contain other components, yes, but a view is it kind of like a page. Yeah, kind of like a page. A component is something inside a page. Yes. Right. So let's go with.
I'm so confused.
Right. So here we have components and we also have views, right? View components is something that belongs inside a view. So a view can have a couple of components, right? For example, navbar, body, footer. Right. That's a view. A component will be a navbar component, a body component, a footer component. Okay. So a view is more like a page, a whole page, and a page contains a bunch of components. Right. So let's define the home page first. Import React from React and export default. What's wrong with export? Spot default.
Why don't we just do the RIMCE thing?
I don't know why it doesn't work.
It doesn't work for you?
Yeah,
Oh, if we do it, it probably works, right?
yeah, it should work for you. So I prefer using this way too. And okay, so I return something. If I'm gonna call this one is homepage, right? Let's couple here and put it in login page. I'm gonna call it login page. Save. Do the same thing for profile. I'm gonna call this profile page, right? And then, so here's a trick here. So instead of import home from home view/home, login from view/login, we can do just one line here by export these three components from index. So here we have to do import home from home. This one's going to be login from login. This one's going to be profile from profile. Right. Lastly, we're going to export it. Export home login profile. So this index file will export these three components. And in the AppJS, we can import everything using object here. Right. Okay, this is gonna be this is my navbar. Right. Okay, let's try to start. All right. Instead of importing like this, right? And I have to do it 3 lines. Sometimes you will have like 20 lines of importing. It doesn't. Right, it's gonna mess up your AppJS. So I use this way to organize it. So instead of exporting the file or component, I export a module. Inside that module, I have a bunch of components.
Can you go back to index?
Okay, it's not. You don't have to follow exactly how I do here. As long as you can export and import the component, that's fine. But this is my habit. Okay, so now I'm gonna start my React app.
What is NX?
npm start. You cannot type that. You have to type npm start. Right, I expect to see homepage. This is my navbar and the homepage, right? So if I go to login, I should see the navbar and the login page. Oh, does it work? All right, can you guess what's the error?
You have to put exact. Yeah, for that one.
Correct. Two of you are correct. Both correct. So you have to use exact here. Right. So if there's no nested route, you can use exact. That's fine. All right. So here's my login page. Cool. Let's go to my profile page. Right. Everything is fine up to now. Okay. Let's import the navbar from Bootstrap. So here I redo everything from scratch. So to do that, you have to copy this code, put it in index, right? Direct and Ilona forgot this part. Spent a lot of time trying to fix this. Right.
Wait, where did you get all of that?
From React Bootstrap. And for the style sheet, you don't have to put it in index.js. Index.html, you can import like here. That's fine. So now we get my my navbar. Okay, I'm gonna wrap everything I see first. Okay, put it here. And it will throw us a bunch of error. So we have to import navbar, nav, form control button. What else? Nav drop down from React Bootstrap. Which one?
All the scripts.
On the script in index.html in public folder.
In the body.
Yes, before you close the body. Right.
We install React normal way. Do we need to do it?
React normal way? What do you mean
I
React?
mean, just npm install React Bootstrap.
Oh, they're two different things. Bootstrap and React Bootstrap.
Oh.
Bootstrap is the original one, and React Bootstrap is something built for React. Okay. Remember that? Yes, remember that. Right, so let's test our application. I see my navbar here, right? Cool. Right, there's another note for React. You can see nav.link here. Yes, it's React Bootstrap. Actually, this is an anchor tag, right? It's an anchor tag. When you hit it, for example, here you go to root route. Here you may go to, I'm gonna say login, for example. Right. It will redirect. So don't use anchor tag in React. Try to use link, React router DOM, right? Yeah, you can change to link. So how do we change it? So I'm gonna do navbar.text here. Navbar.text here. Okay, navbar.text. And remove this one. It's not anchor tag anymore. Be careful. Pay attention to this part. A couple of you guys will make a mistake. Right. So it's not an anchor tag now. It's just a simple text field. Okay. Now you can use a link using React router DOM. Link to, for example, here I'm gonna link to where? Root. Okay. What's wrong? Link to a missing equal, right? So this one, I'm gonna link to login. One more. Maybe this one's gonna be to me, for example. I'm gonna call it profile. Right? Save it. It will show error, link is not defined, so we need to import link. Right. So test, you can see here, right? Why does it look so ugly? Let's see if I can use Snapper here. I think I can. All right, cannot. Right, whatever, you can slide your on your own, but here we go. Have home, login, and pay. Let's see. Okay, it does go to the corresponding view, right? Login and me, right? So now we need to implement login with Facebook on the front end, right? If you don't remember how, you can refer to the OAuth material. So we're gonna use this library. Click it. Take you to the GitHub page. In the GitHub page, you see a couple of instructions. So I'm gonna install that. Okay, install React Facebook login. And here's how we use it. We import it. Okay, I'm gonna import it in my code. Import and call it. So I'm gonna call it inside a model, not here. So, oh, I forgot the model. So how do you create a model here? Yes. Okay. Go to Bootstrap and find the model. All right. So I'm gonna wrap the first one as well. No. This one. Okay, let's wrap this one. Put it in here. Okay. So you need to install what? You need to import model. What else? That's it. So I'm gonna close these all. I'm gonna create my own model, my own content instead of these content. Okay, let's see. Hello. And this one, I have it true, which means it will show the error. On high actually a function to close the model, to toggle the model on and off, right? So how do you define the function? So it's a function, yes. How do you define a function? No, you have to define it as well. All right, you can copy the function here, right? So let's do it on open or set open. Let's use hook and use state. By default, it's gonna be false, right? So to use state, you have to import it. Use state. So here, instead of hard coding into true, I'm gonna do open. I'm gonna call the state open, and here I define a function set open to the otherwise, right? So the opposite of open. I'm gonna say, but right now we don't have any button to open the model. Let's create a button to do that. I'm gonna put it in here. So let's create another one to toggle the model. Call it open model. And this will have an on-click equal. Same thing. This no more this. Set open. Right. So here's a very basic question. Why do I have to use arrow function here? Basic question. Why do I have to use arrow function here? Sorry? Yeah, correct, direct. It's very correct. All right. It's okay if you put a function like this, handle flow, for example. You can call a function handle flow, and inside handle, you have to define a function handle flow outside this. Let's not do that. It's so basic. All right, let's open your app again. Okay. Hang on, loading. You should see a, all right, expected for closing time. Oh my God, I didn't close it. Yeah, but sometimes you want to use model, like most of the time you want to use a model. So you want to stay on that page. You want to go to login page for user experience.
Yeah, honestly, like I hate having to.
Yes. For example, if you're buying something and you want it requires user login, do you have to go out to go to login page just to log in and then you have to go back? Why don't you have a model to open right on that page, right? Right. So I have a open model button. I click it. I see yellow text here, which is fine. So instead of having a text hello, let's have a button. Say continue with Facebook, for example. Yes. Okay. I know the UI is very ugly, but okay. Okay. So instead of hello, log in with email. So this is going to be your login with email form. God. One more thing is log in with Facebook. I'm going to copy this. The one that I copied from the documentation, put in here. So right now you need the app ID from Facebook, your all app ID from Facebook. So let's go to developer of Facebook. That code was copied and pasted from the documentation page. Yeah. I suggest you don't type. Go there and copy the code so don't make mistake. Sorry. It's in. All right. I'm gonna give it the link here. Actually, I'm gonna put it in the doc here. Sorry. Which file is this? Yeah. Okay. Right. So you have a link here. Refresh the page. Refresh the HMD. Okay. Go to developer.facebook.com. Go to your My Apps and My Airbnb app, and you have the app ID right here. Click it. Paste it here. All right. So the app ID is okay to be exposed to the internet. It's fine. Just keep your app secret. Okay. All right. So here you have on click. Let's remove on click. I don't know what it does. You have a callback. The callback is a function. So let's define the function login with Facebook, for example. Okay. Change the name. And then you have to define a function. Cons. Let's call it data. So by default, this function will receive a props. You can name the props anything you want. You can call it props, you can call it data, you can call it response, anything. So basically, it's just an object, right? So now you can construct the object, right? Okay, let's try it. Where am I? React app, open the model. You have a button. Even though I didn't click the button, it's automatically logging in. So here's the construct, the object that I received from Facebook. Here's a bunch of my information, right? Magic. So if you want to revamp the auto login, you can remove this line, auto load, or you can change to false. Right. So I'm gonna reload the page again. Reload the page. Click on open model, and I click on login with Facebook. You see an object here. Yeah. Right. You still on the page. There's no redirect or anything. You still on that page. And here's the object you will receive from Facebook by using the library. So in that object, you have asset token here. Here's the thing that you want the most. These data that's from Facebook as well. You can send these data to the backend side to register an account, but there's a rules here from the backend side. Never trust the front end. Never trust the front end. Yeah, because the front end can be your application or someone else, maybe not yours. So never trust the front end. Yes, I will. Only trust the asset token here because we will use token and we will ask Facebook, hey, is it information correct? Right? That's why it's called token. What do you want to see?
Oh, so you got rid of there's no more unput?
I think yeah, just remove it. You can customize this component. Just read the documentation. There will be a couple of instructions how to customize. I think there's a props called render, something. Right. So here we finally have the user object. So we are done with the first milestone. right? We have the access token. We're done with the first milestone. Done.
The app ID again.
Go to developer.facebook, developers.facebook.com. You don't have to create. I remember you already have one. So click on copy, click on the ID here to copy, and put it in your app. All right. So here's an extra question. Remember when we use password, we also provide the secret, right? We have ID and secret. So there's a difference between whether you're using secret or not. Without secret, the token only survive it's only lives like 2 hours, right? But with a secret key, it's gonna be 60 hours, maybe. Yeah, I forgot, around 60 hours. So that's a big difference between have it or not. Right, milestone was done. Questions? Before I move on to milestone 2, and then we have a break. Right, so I'm gonna copy this. All right, I'm gonna have a couple of things here. Call snippet. What else? Function. There's nothing inside the function. You can do it on your own, right?
What?
What's the point of copying this function? There's nothing there. All right, so that's it. It's a JSON, sorry. JavaScript. All right. If you have any question, let's move on to milestone 2. So everything in milestone 1 basically just review, right? Okay, milestone 2. We're gonna send a GET request to our backend server, which means we send a token to our backend server. How do we do it? Yeah, so instead of console log, we can have data.asset token. Right? Let's make sure I have the asset token here. So you can check if data and data.access token, then we will do something. Okay, test my app again to make sure it works. Open model. So now this is my asset token, right? So now I'm gonna send to my backend server called respond equal await fetch. Oh my god, my spelling. Okay, fetch. Where do I want to fetch? HTTP localhost 5000 auth. Remember these endpoints? Sorry? Good question. Nice. All right. So doing this way, you don't really need to run the server on HTTPS. That's the another difference. So here we need to send the request along with the token. So I'm going to send it using the query. Data.access token, right? Send a GET request to backend server with the access token. I'm going to save. Actually,
do we define access token anymore?
No, it's here. It's inside the data already. So right now I'm going to console log if rest okay rest.json cause dt equal data, but I already have data up there, so I call dt console log dt. Right. So that's it. Oh wait, hang on. Oh my god. All right. Cool. All right. Now go to your backend server. Open the backend. It's gonna be, I'm gonna use the old one, Airbnb clone, which you already have. Right. Open the code editor. So here's a couple of things. Remember, we changed this to HTTPS to use the passport, right? So you can change it back if you don't have it, or you can keep working on the current project. So we're gonna use HTTP, the normal one. We don't have to use HTTPS. You can use HTTPS, it's okay. So now we've done that, go to the auth route. So from, sorry? I use auth 5000 by default in my indeed. Yeah. So it depends. I always use 5000 for backend. Right, so go to your router. So right now, last week, we have something called OAuth Facebook login, right? So right, just delete them. We're not gonna use them anymore, or you can comment out. Okay, so here we have login. Let's create another one. Router dot route login Facebook. Okay. And the get. We call it login with Facebook. Okay, so now go to your auth controller. We don't need this function anymore. I'm going to comment out this.
Wait, for this project that we just said we don't have auth controller.
Yeah, so just create a new one, this one. It's create login with Facebook controller, right? So you can use equal to async. You can use cat async, which we have in the error handler last week, or you can use the normal async, request, respond, next. So this is a traditional way. Right, so now you can console log, before you console, you can do something else. Cons token, or you can call it Facebook token, equal to request dot what? How do you get that token out? There's no data here. How did we send it here? In a URL query, right? So how do we get it from the backend? Look at the endpoint, right? Correct endpoint, right? Okay, Smith failed. Yes. Right. Okay. So if not, what do we do?
Can I see the rule again? How do you call the rule? I mean the backend side.
Login, Facebook, get. Okay. Right, where am I? If there's no token, what do you want to do? I'm gonna return throw error, return next. And I'm gonna throw, instead of doing this, we don't have the, right now in your app, you don't have the error handler. So let's do something traditional. Respond a status for 01, status fail. Message or error. Let's say need token, right? So if there's a token, we're gonna do what? Here's a flow. If there's a token, we created the endpoint, right? We did that. If there's a token, we're gonna send a GET request to Facebook together with token and ask for these information at least, right? So copy the link here. So I'm gonna make a GET request. So you can use the built-in model which called request, but it's old and Node.js recommend not to use it anymore because it's very heavy. It's kind of like, it's a model that built for like 10 years already. So they keep adding stuff into the library and it's become so heavy right now. So people stop using it. There will be no support for it anymore. So we're gonna use another library called ASOS, or you can call another one called Node Fetch. This one is very similar to the Fetch on your browser. Maybe the same, almost the same. But a lot of companies use ASOS. So let's use ASOS. npm install ASOS. Right, so if you want to use ASOS, import it. Const ASOS equal to require ASOS. Okay. So here I'm gonna call respond equal await ASOS.get 8. Right, here we go. So here's a link. And the variables, the token, we got it from here, right? Why does it go down one line? Ooh, doesn't look good. Right. Okay, I'm gonna console respond. Right? And we need to send something back to the server. Respond dot send for now. Let's send something. Okay, for example. So let's test our application. npm edit. npm run there. Ta-da! Crashed. You cannot find module calls. It should be in app.js. Oh, my code have calls. Okay, npm is on calls there. So that error is like it's command that I didn't install on calls. So npm install calls. Right. So npm run there. Okay. Oh my god. All right. Response has been declared. Oh, I use the same variable name. Silly me. Back here, I have response up here. So now I cannot create another response. I'm gonna call it data, for example. Okay. So okay, no more error.
What is that? Facebook.com.
It's an endpoint, a Facebook endpoint, and you have to call this API to get the data.
It's reset that you cannot change it.
Yeah. Right. So let's open my Compass. I already have that user. I'm going to open my Compass to remove the my Facebook user. Connect to my local host. Do Airbnb clone, remove the user here. This user, I'm going to remove it. Delete. Right. So right now I'm not logged in. I don't have any user, the real email damanpal@gmail.com in my database, right? Refresh the database, nothing. So now I will try to log in with Facebook on the file name. Ta-da! Open model, login with Facebook. Okay. Check your network. I think something wrong. Oh, right. So it actually works. You send a GET request to your backend server, right? Here you go. Localhost 5000/r/login/Facebook together with the token in the query. And here's a response. Okay. Right. And check your terminal. Okay, so here's the data that you get from Facebook. The whole response object. Inside that response object, you have the data here, right? the data here. So right now you can use the name in the email to check in your database if that account exists or not, right? If it doesn't exist, you can create an account. If it already exists, you can use, you can issue a new token for that user to log that user in. Okay, you already have that code in the previous project. You can go back and copy and paste. But right now I have everything in my code here, so I'm going to use it. So if you scroll, as you can see here, I have email, I have name, right? So what do I have here? What do I have to do here? I have to create a user, or you can use Pt1 or create. This method, what does it do? Elisa?
It finds the account. Like if it, so you type it, if it exists, then it find it. If not, then it create it.
Yes, correct. So basically from the name, you can guess what it does, right? You already have that method in your code. So I'm going to use the same thing here. Const user equal to await user dot Pt1 or create, right? And then here you have to pass two things, name something and email something. Cool. So data here, you have to go data.name, data.email. Okay. So it had to be like here, data.name. And this one's going to be data.email. You can go down. Right. So we have the user now. Next step, we have to create a token. We all have that method as well. So this is a method that you can call it on the instance, the user instance. So I'm going to call token equal user dot generate token. That's it. Now we have user, we have token. We set it back to the front end. Simple. Just okay. Data will be the user object, and the token will be our token. Right. That's it for the backend. Okay. All right, go back to the front end. This time you already have it. It's your password. Okay, back to the front end. So if respond okay, is it that? If respond okay, then you console log the data, right? Else.
So this is front end.
Yeah, this front end now. Console log respond. Right. So let's see what happened when I log in. Log in with Facebook, refresh the page first. Log in with Facebook. Where is it? Ta-da! I have. So this is going to be the response that we send from backend, right? Correct? Check my console log. All right, I console log that. So here the data, the user object. Right. What do I have to do next? Oh, that belongs to Milestone 3. So Milestone 2 is finished. Backend return the user, the object together with the token. So let's take a break here before we move on and review what we have done in the morning. Lot. I know, but a bunch of them is just review, right?
Because in every project, we did not do the user.
Yes.
So there's a problem. We put the last week code and make compatibility with the every project.
Yes, go back and copy and paste. But there's a couple of things that you can copy and paste, and you should learn how to copy and paste. To be honest, like most of the time we go Google, we copy like a part of the code, we modify it, and we use it inside our code base. All right, milestone 1, we log in the user on the front end, right? So everything we have done is just to collect, to use this library to collect the access token from the user from Facebook. And then in milestone 2, we use a token and we send it to backend. Backend, we use a token to collect the data from this endpoint. And then finally, it returns to front end with those information, right? Pretty much it. The logic is very simple, but the code is long, not really long. So this is just snacks, just showing you review how to use Bootstrap. So the only thing we use here is the Facebook login component, right? And here is a function login with Facebook. This is a callback function. And then we send the token inside the data to backend. Backend we do something, blah, 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 then return the data object, the user object with the token. So data will be the whole data. So now you have cons user will be data dot, no, it's dt dot data, okay? Cons token will be dt dot token, right? It's here, it's here. So this is the user object, right? So this is token. Is it clear? Do you have any questions? I think that right now the step that stop you is you don't have the code here, right? You don't have this code in your backend side, correct?
Only what's stopping me is that my code just keeps crashing. And you're going so fast, I don't have time to figure out why it's crashing.
So all of that's in review, right? Sorry, we have 2 more steps to do in the afternoon, but okay, let's take a break here. If you have any question about this. So if you don't know how to do this, you can go back if the passport topic and take a look at that. Basically, this function is just to, this is a static method. It takes in name and email, file a document with these 2 conditions, maybe just one. And then if there's no document, it create one. There's a document, if we use that user, return the document as a user object here. And then we create a token for that user object, for that user responding. That's pretty much it. Guys, it's just review. A bunch of these just review.
A lot of it is review.
Right. We organize stuff together. So we, the concept that we want to teach here in Code School is like we learn things little by little, and then finally we combine them all together.
So let me ask. So by I'm now we project we connect to a review. So now in the back end we must change it back to localhost, right?
No. Here we go. You use an EMD, right?
Yeah. No, we do not. And just need to set the mongoose back into localhost.
Why do you have to do that?
I mean, because our backend server is run, it doesn't have a user model.
Let's create one. Then you have to create one then. Right. Yeah, you just copy and paste the whole file from where? From the previous assignment, right? Week 9, week 8, I don't know. The Airbnb clone assignment. Copy the whole model, the whole user model, paste it in your code,
in. That's a lot of change.
Right now, there's no auth model. It's only user model, right? What we've used here is just the user model, as you can see here. Just user model.
It's faster to just reuse the what we done last week.
Yeah, just copy and paste. That works fine, I would say.
We can just redirect the mongoose, right? So instead of mongoose connect to our backend, we just connect to the backend last week, to the server, to the local host of last week.
It doesn't matter, actually. It doesn't matter. You can connect to any database. The most important thing here is that you need to have the user model. That's the point. And the user model needs to have this method. Right now, generate token, find one or create. Okay, let's spend some time to go do it on your own. Right, do we have question on the here? Oh, actually, okay, yeah. Done. So in the afternoon, Milestone 3 and 4, we will learn how to deal with the token on the front end again. Milestone 3 front end, Milestone 4 also front end. So basically, we have everything. Oh, you need to have this endpoint on the backend side. Get my profile. Do you have it? If you don't, just go back and copy. It's very simple. I will show you how it looks. It's just 3-line code. User controller. Get my profile. 3-line code. But you have a middleware called Auth, right? Remember? So you need this middleware. Same thing, you can copy and paste. There are a lot of code that you can copy and paste, right? And it's okay to copy your own code from the River project. That's fine. I do that a lot. Right, so that's it, guys. Let's have a break here. I will see you guys in 1:30. Yeah.
Can I see the routes?
A route. So I create an endpoint. So it's gonna start the whole route here. We'll start with localhost 5000/auth, right? That's the prefix. And after that, you will have login with login/Facebook. Remember this slash, Ilona? Always have the first word. Sorry?
I know, I haven't
Okay. Great one. And then you have to do with the normal login yourself. It's very similar to login with Facebook. Right, so that's it. I forgot to ask these people.
Can I see the
Okay, after this.